Pitch2Pitch is a monthly series where entrepreneurs and innovators will have the chance to share their projects. The rules are simple. 5 startups, some judges, 1 minute, and maybe later 5 minutes for Q&A. You can ask questions too, so whatever. And ladies and gentlemen, we have to announce maybe one of the lead people here on Pitch2Pitch, and they are the judges. First of all, Ilian Scalerato, founder and managing partner of Main Capital and Main Crypto. Thomas Tsanev, Vice President of Finance at Citibank. Victor Mane, founder of Impetus Capital. Evelina Delcheva, Senior Finance and Operation Improvement Professional at Auto1 Fintech. And of course, we can save time with Trifon and you. So, we have a special guest here also. And his name is Petar Petrov from London, England, originally Bulgarian, by the way. A young UK angel investing in early stage companies. So, who is Petar Petrov? Okay, startups, Petar Petrov over there. Thank you for being here. And now, the moment that we were all waiting for here at Pitch2Pitch, the startups. And one, a SaaS B2B platform for seamless multi-channel mobile engagement. It enables businesses to interact with consumers on multiple channels, SMS, Viber, etc. in real time via dynamic content, mobile coupons, chatbots, and, ladies and gentlemen, Marin Georgiev, subscribe BG. Stage is yours.
Do you know that 75% of all the downloaded mobile apps are never opened twice? That's right. In the era of customer experience, businesses now more than ever need to engage their customers on their mobile devices. Mobile frameworks, however, are not efficient enough. Channels like SMS offer only one-way communication and no interactions. Integration options for such channels are an overkill for small and medium-sized businesses. So we created a service that enables businesses to interact with their customers in real time on their trusted mobile channels. It enables them to receive meaningful insights, to segment user behavior, to deliver customer experience, and of course, sell more. We use chatbots and interactive mobile content as proven methods for high user engagement and high return on investment. Our technology is suitable for small and medium-sized businesses, such as retail, service, and e-commerce. It's affordable and requires no software installation whatsoever. Thank you very much.
So if I understand you correctly, you are in-app chatbot?
No.
Tell more, I didn't understand.
We use mobile channels, SMS, Viber, WhatsApp, RCS, or more upcoming channels to deliver chatbot activities or interactive content like mobile coupons, payments in the future.
So you are like a chatbot using any other communication channel available?
We use already existing channels to create app-like experience for the user.
Okay.
Who are you competing with? Who are your main competitors?
Oh, we have lots of competitors.
Yeah.
By the way, 2 years ago, the competition was much, much lower. due to the growth in the market, it's calculated around 23%. The environment is getting more and more cluttered. We compete with chatbots, we compete with SMS gateways, we compete with some mobile coupons companies.
And how are you different?
Currently, I think in the future, this cluttering of the market will get higher and higher, and the way you position yourself as a combination of all the tools that become available will make the difference. Currently, we provide some unique combination of mobile coupons, chatbots, and channels. That might change in the future, but we will try to keep on the winning edge, we hope.
So, who is the customer for your product?
Customers are small and medium-sized businesses for now. We are avoiding big enterprises because of the fast feedback we need at the moment. And it's retail, service, and e-commerce businesses. Retail is the perfect customer for us.
So you get some information from the CRM system of the customer, and then you start marketing activity with their customers? Or
it is possible, or we can make the whole cycle. We can start with lead generation. So we acquire customer, we segment the customers during the acquisition or later, and then we can engage them on the channel they have chosen.
So if I'm a retail customer, I'll start receiving Viber messages and SMS? Or
well, our customers will send such messages to their customers.
Yeah, through your system, right?
Yes.
And how much does it cost if I'm some business to have your system?
It depends on the volumes. The pricing is done with monthly fee plus price per message or price per active user, depending on the way of communication you use. And for you, we can waive the monthly fee, of course.
Oh, thank you. But just to give me some idea of how much do you plan to charge your customers?
It's probably average per customer might be around 100, 200 euros per month.
So this is the monthly fee?
Monthly fee plus some average number of messages included.
Okay. And the cost of message is zero for you, or the cost of communication, the cost of message, is it zero for you, or you pay for that?
It depends on the channel. For example, SMSs, we buy SMS so that we can send them on behalf of our customers. Some chatbots are currently free. Some of them you pay for per communication or per active user. It depends on it's currently diverse.
How many clients do you have right now?
I'm so happy you asked this question. Currently, we don't have any paying customers. Before the COVID crisis, we had some test customers. Then we were focusing on physical locations, which was quite bad for those customers. So we switched, we adapted. Now we have more generating tools for online lead acquisitions. And currently we have some more testing customers, which in the future we hope become paying customers.
Online lead means e-commerce or what?
Sorry?
Online lead means e-commerce or?
No, I mean we acquire customers by online means.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Thank you.
You need to know that I have a special announcement at the end of the evening, so stay tuned. And we continue with the next startup. They say about themselves that they are a world-class company that offers stellar prototyping services from A to Z at competitive prices. Ladies and gentlemen, Emil Kirillov and Zekeng.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. First, let me ask you something. How many of you are afraid of being infected with coronavirus? Raise your hand, please. Come on, be honest. So, not many of you. And do you know that this fear, probably you know, but by the way, this fear prevented people coming here this evening. Venue owners all around the world are losing some money. Imagine if there is a system that can inform people real time whether it is dangerous to be indoor in a certain place. So Canary, the prototype you see, is a similar system that gives a rating of a given place based on two things: how well the owners of the venue take care about the place, and how many people are in there. It is based on a sensor device, as you can see, and a mobile app. Thank you. Not yet. What we can see here right now is the level of carbon dioxide, the level of particles, humidity, and temperature. These are the parameters that are used to calculate this air quality rating. We are currently working with a doctor who is expert in our lungs, and he would suggest a formula how we can calculate this rating. This prototype I brought here is a prototype of a similar system that we already built for our customer, and what we plan here is to redesign it to be some more human friendly, as you can see this industrial design. And this is part of our job. The reason we didn't do that is because we want some more feedback on the idea. The project started before the COVID, and the idea, the project is for something completely different. It's for monitoring of industrial places and manufacturing plants, but we plan to use the same infrastructure, the same hardware platform to develop this new system.
They gave me the microphone. I'm a little lost here. So you guys are developing different systems, like prototypes of different systems?
Yes.
For some other customers?
Yes, that's what we do for 15
so
years.
So somebody wants to make something and comes to you and says, hey, I want to make a system that monitors the air quality, and you make it for him?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, okay.
And our goal is now to shift from a pure service company to product-oriented.
And how many prototypes have you developed?
Maybe more than 200 for the last.
And what are the industries those prototypes?
Well, different. One of the industries we develop very often is the medical, but not the how we say, intervention medical. It's more cosmetics products and etc. IoT systems is our new line. We are, as a team, we are famous with another product called Connected Bin, which is a sensor that is retrofitted to waste bins, so they can inform waste collectors how full the bin is at the moment. And this is a working project with paying customers right now.
Thank you.
Bearing in mind that we are becoming more and more data junkies and control freaks, I believe the idea is great.
Thank you.
I believe it is scalable. The question mark I have is the following. Aren't there other guys on the market trying to do something similar? A. And B, obviously you will be able to beat them on the price tag because this is Bulgaria, it's not like the US or Western Europe. If I'm not mistaken, the small box is the sensor and this is the interface, the interaction.
Yes,
and
it supports
And my
Up to
last
4.
third question, do you log the information and where do you log the information and what's the technology used for logging the information?
So let me start the first one. We found a company, actually the doctor we are consulting with gave us their sensor. And he told us, I bought this 1 year ago. The company is called Gin or something like this. And they produce a very, very hobbyist-like sensor, but it's working comparatively well. And what they do, they monitor the indoor air quality, and the company is based in Belarus.
What I see as a major scalable case is working with all the producers of air conditioning systems. It's a no-brainer. Yeah. Every air conditioner, now you can remotely adjust them, so this is something that you should look at. There are many companies because it makes total sense to put the sensor and then have your phone as interface.
Yes.
That's the questions for now.
So this is the second question.
No, this was just a suggestion that I like the idea very much.
And now trending are air purifiers. I think the third question was unanswered. Where do we log the data?
Yeah, where do you log the data?
We log the data here on, we have an SD card. So when the device is offline, it can log it on SD card. And when it comes online, it transmits to a web-based platform.
Okay, my question, you are a prototype developing company. Usually these types of companies are not ready to scale. They are producing this with their own hands. You want to move to a product company with this product. Have you done already steps? Who will produce it in how many quantities? Are you ready for this? Because it's totally different business than what you're doing.
Yes, we started 3 years ago with our first product, which I told you was connected bin, this sensor. We have experience with manufacturing, not with tens of thousands of units, but with 100 to 1,000 units we are okay. We usually do pilot projects, and we have other products. It's our other product is something completely different. It is a guitar amplifier. Mm-hmm. But we develop some products, and we are, I always say, the business with services, there are ups and downs, and when you are down,
yeah, but I'm speaking about warranty, about shipment, about supply chain, all of the things that you don't have experience with. It's a different business. It's absolutely not the same.
Yes, we basically rely on partners with doing that.
I get you.
The connected bin story, is it near-band IoT, or do you use near-band IoT technology?
No, narrow-band IoT is not very well developed in Bulgaria right now. There is one provider that provides it, and it's under conditions that we would not accept by now. What we base connected bin is on the good old-fashioned 2G technology. Well, we are ready to shift it to something else when available.
So you brought this device here, and you said 200 prototypes. Are they different, or are you just using this box for almost everything that you do, or base it on some similar hardware, or how does that work?
Well, normally our service is based on the electronics of the devices. I'm telling you 200 because we did more than 200 projects, and our prototype level usually is only the printed circuit board. We ship that circuit board to the customer, who developed the enclosure and puts it inside, or what. It's different. Every project is different. But normally we use stock boxes because we want to avoid this complex box enclosure manufacturing thing. Our guitar thing is with customer enclosure, for example, and this is one of the showstoppers right now.
Okay. And those two parts are from the same device, or those are two different devices?
Yeah, this is the sensor device, this is the gateway, because the requirement was to handle up to 4 sensors at one.
Oh, I see. And this is measuring the air quality.
Yes, this is measuring some of the those 6 parameters right now. And what we saw that carbon dioxide dropped with 300 ppm, which is 1/3, when the ventilation
In the room.
was switched on higher.
We'll call maintenance after us.
Yes, and this is good maintenance.
Yeah. Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
Yes.
Then my question was, how much does it cost to develop this prototype, roughly? If
To develop or to manufacture?
to develop, what's your revenue for this project?
Well, normally, this kind of prototype would take around 20,000 euro, between 20 and 30,000. But sometimes we develop it for less of the price because it supports our platform. I mean, we are trying to develop our own platform. So part of this development, we use it. And exactly this project was requested by the customer without the IP behind it. They just requested several devices, and that was the project.
Oh, okay.
We sold the product to them.
So 20,000 euros, how much did you make? What was the cost? What was your cost for developing this?
20,000.
Like man hours and so on?
Oh, in man hours. It's more than 600. Actually, we got 10,000 euro for that.
So,
But this is what we reserve is our firmware and software is our own.
and how many people do you have?
In the company?
Yep.
6 right now.
Oh, okay. So what I was trying to measure is how profitable your business is, but did you from the 20,000?
I'm telling you, it's not the most profitable one. From you won't try to measure. Just ask me. It's not
Because
very
I'm the
profitable.
finance guy, so that's what I'm trying to
Yeah,
find out.
it's because it's service based. So if you come and want a service, I have to spend time and you pay me money. I sell time for money. And sometimes it happens that we develop something similar and we can reuse it. For example, let's say 70 or 80% and can charge better price and we can get better margin. But it's not the, it's usually there is some 20% of gray line in each project that is not, that we're not aware of, and these 20% take.
Sure,
80%
so
of the time.
the more projects you have, the more expertise
Yeah,
you
so
get.
that's what we're trying to build expertise, and now we decided to focus on IoT platforms. I mean the hardware part of it.
Sure. Thank you for your presentation.
Thank you.
I think we don't have any more questions.
Thank you.
So we continue with a motto. Your car on your phone. Occasion Diagnostics maintains advanced security and safety in real time. Cargenta Brain, Emil.
Good evening, everyone. Okay. Cargenta Brain is manufacturing a device like this. It is intended for car owners who wish to connect their car to their mobile phone. The offered services are location tracking and diagnostics in real time, as well as advanced security and safety. For example, notifications in case of theft attempt or towing attempt, crash, overspeeding, etc. The target markets are the developed countries, primarily North America, European Union, Australia, Japan. The standard retail price is $99, including the device and 1-year data plan. The long-term goal is to offer additional services to the car owners, like auto insurance for a commission of the sold product. Thank you very much.
Can start. That device, can it work with different type of cars, with all type of cars, or?
Yes, it can work with any type of car as long as it is produced after 1996. It needs it needs the so-called OBD standard, which is this book, and all manufacturers, car manufacturers, are obliged by law to have this book for their cars produced after 1996.
And who are your customers now? Individuals or companies?
Well, we are targeting initially individuals. Those are people who are innovators. They want to have their, let's say, a little bit older car on their phone, but the device can easily work with car fleets.
And how do you find the customers? How do you market the product?
Well, very soon we are going to create a Kickstarter campaign, which will be the launch of our product.
Okay. Are there any other close competitors? And how are you different from them? How do you differentiate yourself?
Right. Well, there are different competitors in the markets, but none of the competitors offer a device like this globally. Most of them are local, and we don't have any direct competitors, meaning we have competitors in terms of, for example, car diagnostics or location tracking. But what we are offering is the device and the internet data plan all in one.
Okay. My last question, do you have already paying customers or not?
Yes, we have one paying customer, and we have other individuals who are just trying the devices as beta testers.
And this is an individual, not a company. That is currently
paying customer is one company who is using the device to track their cars.
So they're using it for different purpose, to track the cars or the condition
Yes,
of
they
the
are
cars?
using mostly to track their cars, yes.
Okay, have you thought of, sorry, I promised last question, but now I came up to another one. Have you thought about different use cases? Rent a car, for example, it may be a good use case for them.
Yes, of course. For rent-a-cars, it could be very useful because they can set up a perimeter and get a notification if the car leaves, let's say, a company in Italy. They want to know if their car goes to France, for example. So they can set up a perimeter and get a notification every time the car leaves, let's say, a given boundary. Also, they might get a notification in case of crash. Something happens on the road, the device sends a direct notification.
Aren't rent-a-cars already using similar devices? Are they too expensive? Because I know that they do the diagnostics and they do the tracking already. So,
right. Well, some of them might be doing it, others not. It depends really on the car and how much budget they have for that service.
okay. Do you believe that you have the lowest price because they're analog devices like that?
Right.
But this is a price game. So, if you have good distribution and if you have low cost, you may have the advantage.
Exactly. Well, the price is quite competitive. We believe so. Now it depends really on market acquisition.
What about the interface? Is it the phone part where the customer interacts? Can we see it? Is it developed? Is it user friendly? Does it have any gimmicks? Because this is the hardware part.
Yes, this is the hardware part. Yes, correct. Well, there is a mobile app which functions in along with the device. They cannot be separated. The application is in beta stage, meaning it's currently under development. The main features are there. We just need to make it, let's say, as you mentioned, user-friendly. A little bit more user-friendly.
Okay. Both things. What is the time to market?
Time to market, with the current time frame, about 3 to 4 months.
Okay. Have you secured the funding for that?
Well, depends on what our goals are. For the Kickstarter campaign, yes, we're pretty much ready for it.
You should know your cost. It's a matter of budgeting.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
What is the communication protocol between the hardware and the app? Is it Bluetooth or?
Well, it uses internet data service, meaning the device sends the data to a centralized server, which then transforms the data and sends it to the car owner phone.
Okay, so it works. The more customers, the more work will be on the server.
Sorry, second?
The more customers, the more work will be on the server. So basically,
yes, correct.
Yeah. Okay, I got it. What is the prototype application? Is it for Android, iOS?
Well, there is one for Android and one for iOS as well.
Okay, I got it.
By the way, to add a little something on your previous question, there is also Bluetooth embedded in the device. So in case you run out of data plan, for example, you can connect it locally via Bluetooth.
Thanks.
I know that some of the US insurance companies, they fit one of those devices in your car and they pretty much monitor how you drive,
Yes, correct.
how you accelerate and how you stop. So how developed is the market, and isn't it too late to be entered right now?
Well, in the States, as you mentioned, most of the companies already offer such functionality. Maybe about 25% of their insurance are the so-called usage-based insurance. But in Europe, those services are mostly available in Italy, which is required by law there, and the United Kingdom. But the rest of the Western Europe is, let's say, an open market. It's still a...
Do you focus on any specific market in Europe, or?
Not right now. We are going to test the, let's say, the user adoption, see which countries are most prone to adopting such services, and from there we are going to base our further strategy.
What is the produce cost?
The cost for production? Well, it depends on where the device is intended for because of the GSM modules that we use. Right now, with the standard retail price of $99, we make about 10% profit.
Do you assemble it here locally, or you use a Chinese subcontractor?
It's manufactured in the European Union, not in China. Yes, China is a big risk. Yeah.
When can you show us the app?
It's right now on my mobile phone, and I can show. There is a web version as well.
Okay, thank you very much.
Well, no more questions. Thank you for the presentation.
Thank you, everyone.
Let me tell you a story. Backed by the EIT Climate-KIC accelerator and founded by the business tech duo Radina Popova and architect Petar Zaharinov, the startup duo DiFOLD unveiled its flagship product, the Origami Bottle. Featuring DiFOLD's proprietary collapsible design technology, it is the first reusable bottle that folds flat, yet remains ultra stable when unfolded. Ladies and gentlemen, Radina.
Hello, thank you. Nice to meet you. How do you imagine the future of packaging? Are we going to continue consuming 1 million plastic bottles per minute? At DiFOLD, we are seeking to change this. We are looking to really fight with this disposability culture and to offer a new generation of space-saving, reusable products and packaging. We are starting B2C with the Origami Bottle. Since June 16, we've raised over $140,000 by crowdfunding and pre-orders, and this is just the beginning. Because there is a whole folding design technology behind the bottle that can be applied far beyond bottles. So imagine all kinds of space-saving, reusable, collapsible, and refillable containers similar to consumer packed goods, containers for food and drinks, cosmetics, or even larger transportation containers. And now we are looking for a seed round of investment to drive international expansion and to secure a trial with the packaging industry by the end of next year. Thank you for your time.
Okay, do you have a patent?
Yes, of course.
What
We
kind
have
of provisional
Or
Yeah, we have several patents. The first one, like Peter, my partner, he can explain more, but basically we have a utility patent application in Europe and in the US. And in addition to that, we have a series of design patent applications as a second barriers to protect the IPR of our technology.
Great job with that product. I read it in the news somewhere, so I'm already familiar. So how much does it cost and what is the price for it?
The estimated retail price would be around $34, although we are communicating at the moment at $39, but we will try to lower the costs with entering into mass production.
So what's the cost to make?
I mean the cost of manufacturing? Well, it's a little bit inside internal information, but let's say we make around 79% profit. So you can do the maths.
Okay. Thank you.
Where do you produce it? Is it in Bulgaria? Do you produce in Bulgaria?
No, it's in China. I traveled to China last November before COVID, and I visited several factories, and one of them was really recommended. It's working with other Bulgarian companies, and they're only manufacturers, not traders, so we are already working with them for the production of these samples. It's not the final finished product, but they're very cooperative and fast, because we were looking for local producers here in Europe, in Bulgaria specifically, but it was really impossible to have such a competitive price and a complex service. Like, for instance, here there was no company that can produce the cap. Only the work for the cap from workers, it was around 7 levels, which is crazy.
What is the bottle made of?
The main body is made of a very durable thermoplastic copolyester, which is a type of polymer, half-based, bio-based. It's very durable and long-lasting, and it's been certified for Cradle to Cradle, which is a very high-end sustainability certificate. And not many manufacturers for materials have this certification, and of course it's food safe for FDA approved, etc.
Is it for cold liquids or also for hot ones?
You can put both hot and cold liquids, but it's not isothermal. Like, you need a double flask vacuum insulation to do the job. Like, there is no material that can be foldable and isothermal.
Point of a consumer, don't you think it's too expensive?
Well, no, I think it's competitive to other reusable bottles.
Really?
Yeah.
In the Kickstarters, for how much they bought it, the initial perk?
Sorry?
What was the amount of buying this bottle in Kickstarter?
We got more than 5,000 orders.
5,000 orders,
Yeah.
in average $30 per one, right?
Yeah, I mean there were different packs.
Yeah.
And it was also sold the discounted retail price, because this is how you basically provide to people an incentive to not only get it a preferential price, but also to be part of the making of the product.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, you can find foldable, collapsible bottles on Alibaba for $5, but they're really not doing the job. They're smelly, they're difficult to clean, they're not stable. Like, one of the main advantages of our bottle is that it's not only very compact as you see, but you can put pressure even when it's empty, it's super stable. Mm-hmm. So it's a hybrid between a conventional glass stainless steel bottle and with the advantage of being compact as well.
And one more technical question, can it work if there is gas pressure inside? I'm talking about if you put soda in and you want to use it in half size, you drink half of the soda, you want to keep the free air available, will it work or will it collapse to the max size?
It can. You mean whether it can stay semi-collapsed?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, you can try. I've tried to do it. It can stay like this, but it's a...
Yeah, if it's closed, it will stay, but if there is a gas pressure inside, it will go out to the max.
If there is a gas pressure?
Soda.
I'll try it and let you know.
Okay.
Haven't tested it in that.
Because I had the same idea. Not same, but I had a folder to keep the fuzz in. To minimize the... Okay. If you see in the Coworking, all of our bottles are just pressed. all of our Coca-Cola. Never mind. Next time.
Is this B2C? What is the market? B2C.
Yeah, we're starting B2C. Although we will be selling it also to business corporations, event organizers, especially music festivals. We identify as one of our segment markets, but it's in the end it's a B2C product. But we are looking to develop similar products for B2B. Speaking about big brands like Nestle, Unilever, Procter & Gamble, or retailers that are already looking for reusable, refillable containers that would replace single-use packaging. So they're never becoming waste. They're based on the circular economy, zero waste shopping, where they're basically the packaging is becoming an ownership of the brand. So you're only renting it for using it, and then you're returning in there, refilling and cleaning. So this is where we would really have a bigger impact and scale this technology. And we've already spoken with Nestle directly in Geneva. We've pitched to Procter & Gamble in London. We are speaking also with one of the big innovators in that area, which is Loop platform, that are really looking to bring the milkman model from the past in a modern context, and partnering with all of these big retail, not retail, but CPG brands. Yeah.
So what are the expected sales? I mean, like how many volumes? Like you're going to sell 1 million bottles in 1 year or 2 years?
Yeah, for next year our forecast is to sell 120,000 bottles.
Then for the year after?
And the year after, like 3 times more.
And
but with the year after, we're looking to already secure a trial and to develop something in the packaging area as well, where if you develop one design, it will be directly, massively distributed and would attract other brands probably.
Yeah.
How durable are the bottles?
How durable? Well, we want to guarantee at least 5 years of minimum usage for the bottles. Yeah, I mean, because many people think that because on the folding creases it's thinner and that at some point it will break. No, it would not break. I mean, the material is super durable. Like the more tricky part is on the bottom that we are now optimizing it, but overall the material is really going to last for long. Now moving to production, we are also planning to make a robot to estimate the exact folding and unfolding cycles so that we can provide an estimate for the real lifespan of the bottle. And then we also plan to have collection back policies. So that's why we've designed a bottle with only 2 materials that can be easily separated and recycled. And the materials are pressure materials that can be endlessly recycled and again turned into a raw material. And we would probably provide some vouchers, discounts for the people after that, after they are returning it. I mean, in 5 years probably we would have much more retail places where they can return it and then it will be shipped back to us.
I have 2 questions. Both are related with user experience. First one, how does it react to heat? Sun and heat, because people have become very sensitive regarding parabens. So is it safe, the material? I think it should be, but I have to ask.
Of course it's safe, it's FDA approved. In addition to that, we are also for each color of the bottle, because it will come in 4 colors, starting colors, we will certificate the bottle itself for each color, for the European standards, for the American standards.
Well, FDA has approved Coca-Cola, so it's not a good example. So I'll take your answer that does not leak any
Peter
parabens.
can explain more on the chemicals that are hazardous. But BPA, I mean, now everything should be BPA free, and it is.
Second question.
Yeah.
This bottle has creases. Is it antibacterial? Is it cleaned easily in terms of hygiene? Because when we have creases, these are places where small, tiny things can get, and they can not usually. It's not sure that they would be clean. So it's a question.
Yes, the creases are only on the outside, so the inside surface is very smooth and glossy. And on the other hand, the material is really non-sticky. So this is also, to some extent, negative thing because we've tried to put stamps for co-branding and things like this, and it's not sticking because it's really doesn't, nothing sticks to it. So in terms of cleaning it, you can clean it with a bottle brush or safely put it in the dishwasher. The end mouth of the bottle would be a little bit wider so that it will be even much easier to be cleaned with a bottle brush. And as I said, like inside it's smooth and glossy. So these creases are only outside.
In terms of branding, you think to put the branding on the
our logo
on the top?
Our logo will be here.
Okay, so you found a way to put it.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean it will be already integrated in the production mode.
Okay,
so
it will be molded. Okay.
Yeah, so it will be playing with a more glossy surface that will be seen on the bottle. It will be very sleek.
Again, I would like to understand for the $39 price, what's the
34.
benefit? 34, okay. What's the benefit of this device compared to a regular bottle? Is it only the size? Because what's the benefit of metal bottle?
Well, there is no other collapsible bottle that is really as stable.
But what's the benefit of a collapsible bottle?
It saves you space. I mean,
but you already had the space in your bag because you carried it full to the work, right? You already have this space.
But at some point, like for some people, they want to save space and they just don't carry bags. So, you know, there's girls with a small bag or like men that don't want to carry their bag.
Then you will carry it only empty, small. For me, if it was keeping the fuzz inside, it will be a big benefit. Like you can drink a fresh cola all of the day, then for me it's a no-brainer, I'll take it. But just keep it, returning it home smaller,
you know, with every innovative product, they're the early adopters. So if for you it's not important to save space, well, there are people like me, I'm a climber, and believe me, when you're doing a multi-pitch climbing of a high rock...
My fear is that the sexiness of this product will go away soon, and then what you do?
Well,
will you be able to decrease it to $9.99? Then maybe you compete with a metal bottle.
I believe we have the market, and Kickstarter has proven it. It's not for everybody, that's normal, and we're okay for this. But there are people that really ignite and excite about this, and they're also very, how to say, emotionally engaged because they know that we are also fighting with the global plastic waste problem, and we want to implement this technology on a much larger scale. So we are not just selling one bottle at a time. Yeah, this is what we are doing now, but our vision is much bigger, and we have the technology to do it. So, and the passion.
Yeah, what the company is looking for right now? I mean, like,
we're looking for a seed round of $200,000
to finance the expansion.
Yeah, to drive international expansion, to grow the team. We're just a team of two, me and Peter, going through this journey so far. So we're really looking to drive our marketing part, because for the first year and something, this will be the cash cow product, like generating all of the revenue, and that me and Peter can focus on finding the leads for the packaging industry. And of course, we have to allocate some resources for inventory, to really build the infrastructure of the company, to pay for the upcoming IPR protection, etc.
Last question, very simple. Is it only one design, or you have 1, 2, 3 designs, different designs?
We have a set of collapsible patterns that can be applied to any kind of dimensions and sizes of tubular shaped containers.
How many people are you, and what's your burning cost per month?
It's me and Peter only, and we are paying ourselves €500 per month.
Each?
And working from home, yeah, per person.
How much?
€500.
Per
yes,
person.
For the moment, per person, yeah.
Okay.
No office infrastructure.
All right, you're bootstrapping very well. How many orders did you get on Kickstarter?
5,000 and something.
5,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
With Indiegogo now it's 5,500, something like this.
And the manufacturer, do they have any capacity, or do they have a restriction when they set up the molds and everything? That's a pretty expensive process, but after that they should be able to run very large runs of production, right?
Yeah, at the moment, the lead time that we have for production is 1,000 bottles per day. But we are now also speaking with a bigger manufacturer. I mean, they have a whole factory that is only producing reusable drinkware. They're working for big brands like Clean Canteen and Swell in the US, and they're really helping not only on the manufacturing side, but finding like big distributors like Starbucks or Walmart. So we're now also looking for a way to partner with them in case that we really at some point scale unexpectedly, they can take care of large-scale production.
Oh, I understand. Any other questions? Thank you, Radina. Excellent
Thank you.
presentation.
And the last startup for tonight is a Bulgarian software company specialized in the making of games for PCs and mobile devices. It is focused on the production of high-quality products with a specified graphic style and original name mechanics. Ladies and gentlemen, Roni Games and Simeon Denev.
Здравейте! Аз съм Симеон Денев, собственик и гейм дизайнер в Roni Games. Ние правиме много хубави... Yeah, I'm sorry. Roni Games, we make games for PC and mobile. All of us have around 10 years experience in their expertise. The gaming industry is the biggest entertainment industry in the world, $160 billion and growing, and we want a piece of this. Our main product is Office Tycoon, a game about making your own software company, making it the best, and in the way having fun and also learning how the game works. Compared to our competitors, the focus of this game is about the humans and the relations and how important it is to hire the right people and to make it good for them. And we project about 20 to 100,000 sales, which will be enough to cover the production costs and above. Thank you.
How many people are you in the company?
5 people. I am a game designer. We have 2 developers and 2 artists.
Do you have already customers?
Customers, we are working with 3 publishers which are competing to publish our mobile games right now. We are in talks with them, and we are in the way of contacting many more mobile publishers. Right now we are making 5 little mobile games just to build our portfolio as a team and to gain some initial funding. So yeah, I mean potential customers in millions.
It seems that we are not too much into the gaming industry.
Yeah,
here.
I'm sorry about it. But
okay, the games you make, are they free to download and play, and then you make money out of the in-game purchases, or are they paid for?
So yeah, the mobile games, the main way to make money is by advertising in the games themselves, which the publisher do. So yeah, they're free to play. But we want to make only PC games, which are sold by piece, usually between 10 to 20 euros, one-time purchase. Yeah.
Let me see if I understand that correctly. So your main goal is to make games for the PC, but you will use the phone games as a platform to raise money to fund the PC games.
If we don't find investor before that, yeah, actually
okay.
That's the idea.
Just to make sure I understand how things are interconnected.
Because mobile games are very easy and fast to make, and
the problem with mobile games is in order to be used as an advertisement platform, you need to have a very big mass of players.
Yes.
So, and you cannot measure likability before you launch the game. So you have to see what the feedback is.
Yeah, that's why we have a publisher which are doing this job for us actually.
Now, are you going to implement the Charlie Chaplin technique, like give the games to your testers and adapt according to when they lose, when they win, when they go out of the game, when they lose interest? Or you just push it there and see if it goes?
So we have researched the market very well. We have found this niche. I mean, there are a lot of tycoon and business simulator games like this one. We have talked to a lot of fans, a lot of Bulgarian professionals in the video games industry, and we all think that the idea is good. And the good thing with such software is that you can release it very early, and you can get feedback from your potential customers very early, and you can see what is good, what is not, how. I mean, you can get in contact with a lot of people very early and see and model your game according to them, basically.
Okay. I also think it's a very cool idea, like to simulate a startup company and offices.
It will help a lot of people to see how the software world happens, how the different roles are, how to make their own software company even.
Is it easy to push it from the PC to the mobile, this type of game?
Yeah, we want, because we work with Unity, which is very easy to translate between PC and mobile. If the PC game is successful, we will release it to mobile, but only as an addition. I mean, the PC is where the market is. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
So when you develop a game, you can market it yourself, or I suppose you can just give it to somebody that already has a market for it. Because there are these places and kids play a bunch of different games. They just pick one of them. There are like 100 games on those platforms. Can you just give it to some of those people instead of spending on marketing in years in just breaking into a market that seems to be extremely competitive at this point?
Well, the niche we are focused with our first PC game, it's very small and there is a lot of hunger for it. And the other thing is that it depends on the game. I mean, in some cases, because I have researched a lot of, I mean, we are not the first company making this, right? In some cases, the game can grow by itself, by us growing the company, the community around the company, and the game realizing its sales without any outer support, let's say. And the other way is for a publisher to pick it and to release it to their own customers, which is very easy, but then majority of the sales go to the publisher because they do all the marketing job. Because that's why we're looking for investors to share the profits with them only, not going through publishers and spending days, hours after working on the game, but getting right into it and building it just for us. Well, it depends, but usually it's about 50, 60, 70%, but usually they bring thousands of people.
50, 60, 70%.
Yes. But, I mean, for example, this game, we need about 100 to 200,000 euros. And if we sell around 20 to 30,000 sales, which is absolutely achievable, especially in this market, we will have covered the prices of the production and then some.
Well,
this is the ideal case where we can develop the game. This is for 2 years. This is for 2 years for us to work fully on the game and make it without any worries. But we can, I mean, ideally we can make it for 6 months and then search for additional funding through publishers. When we have made a prototype, we can release it early access on Steam where user can start buying it right away for lower cost.
so how many games do you have right now?
Well, right now we have made 2 games fully, and right now the publishers are testing them on their platforms, and we're talking with other publishers as well. I mean, us as a team. Me personally, I have previously worked for other companies. I have realized around 10 million in downloads. Games I have designed. My guys have worked in other companies, mostly SWAT games.
Okay, so the problem is going from 0 to 20, 30,000 users. Is that what I'm hearing?
Well, we will see very fast. I mean, I have validated, as I said, the idea with professionals in the industry. I know what my guys can do. Everybody thinks that it's feasible, but yeah, it's a risk. I mean, it's half software product, it's a half art product. Let's say it's a bit like the movies. You don't know. Yeah, it's very subjective.
How long does it take to develop one game fully?
Well, it depends on the scope of the game. Right now, for example, we're the mobile games we're making, we need about 1 to 3 months to make it and to release it to the market. And these games have potentials to amass millions. Depends on the market, but for one good serious PC games, we need about 1 to 2 years. This is normal for a team of 4 to 5 people, for a small team.
Thank you.
So what about a little break for the jury to brainstorm who will be the winner of Pitch to Pitch? Which number? August. Okay, we will be back here on the stage in 15 minutes, so thank you. You got that right? Okay.